Let's dive right in. You know that saying about needing a sharp mind to lead effectively?
Yeah, the idea that, raw intelligence, a high IQ is the main thing.
Exactly. Well, our source material for this deep dive, it sort of turns that on its head a bit. It poses this really profound question. Leadership rule #44. Your mind is brilliant, but how is your heart?
Hmm.
So our mission today is to explore that. Why is it that, yeah, high IQ is great, obviously, but maybe something else is the real differentiator for truly exceptional leaders?
It's fascinating, isn't it? Because this question, it gets right to the core of what makes a leader not just like competent, but truly exceptional.
Right.
Our source, Excerpts from the Heart of Leadership, Emotional Intelligence, actually talks about the IQ of your heart.
The IQ of your heart. I like that
Yeah,
framing.
and it's not just some fuzzy concept. They frame it as this foundational intelligence that really shapes how you lead, how you connect with people, and ultimately how impactful you are. We're going to really try and pull apart why this heart IQ matters so much.
Okay, so if the brain handles, let's say, the strategy, the
Mhm.
policies, the procedures,
Yeah.
all that vital stuff.
The analytical heavy lifting.
Right. What exactly does the heart do in leadership? The source makes a pretty clear distinction here. It says, a brilliant brain helps you master policy, process, procedures. Absolutely critical. No argument there.
Sure.
But the heart, it does something different, maybe even more powerful. It's like the difference between being a really skilled technician and being the actual architect.
Yeah.
Someone who doesn't just build the thing, but gives it purpose and life.
That's a great analogy. If we connect this to the bigger picture, the heart is what lets you move from just managing tasks, the transactional stuff, to actually inspiring people, the transformational side.
Ah,
It's about being genuinely people smart. It's the engine, really, that helps a leader inspire, motivate, empower others to bring their absolute best, not just because they have to.
but because they want to.
Exactly. Without that real human connection, even the smartest plans can just fall flat. Think about it, like a technically amazing surgeon who has zero bedside manner.
Right, the operation's perfect, but the patient feels awful.
Precisely. And in leadership, that connection, that trust, it's just paramount.
Okay, so this leads to the big question, doesn't it? What does this mean for your leadership, for the listener? How do you even figure out how high the IQ of your heart is?
That's the challenge, and where the source gets really practical. It starts breaking down this heart IQ into tangible qualities. It's not about being overly emotional or sentimental.
Oh, it's about specific traits.
Exactly. The source talks about emotional intelligence, or EQ, as these essential qualities, but it's interesting they stick with the phrase IQ of your heart.
Why do you think that is? Is it just a different term for EQ?
Well, they suggest EQ can sometimes sound like a list of skills, things you just do, whereas IQ of your heart implies something more inherent, like a capacity you need to cultivate, similar to your intellectual IQ.
Ah, so it's more about who you are as a leader, fundamentally.
That seems to be the idea. It emphasizes that these aren't just soft skills, they're foundational. They're critical for dealing with, all the messy human stuff in organizations and building teams that actually work well together. It determines how well you lead yourself, which then impacts how you lead others.
That makes a lot of sense. It feels deeper than just learning a technique. Okay, so if this heart IQ is so important, what is it made of? What are these building blocks? The source lists 6 essential qualities.
Yes, 6 key areas.
Let's start with the first one, integrity. The source asks, do you operate with transparency, honesty, and ethics? But it feels like it's digging deeper than just, following the rules.
Oh, definitely. It's not just about not being dishonest. The source connects it to building predictive trust.
Predictive trust, what's that?
It means when your actions consistently match your words and values, your team can predict how you'll likely react or decide. They trust your motives.
Ah, so they don't have to constantly guess what you're thinking.
Exactly. And that actually reduces their anxiety and, weirdly, the need for you to micromanage because they trust your judgment and your word. Think about a leader who openly admits, look, I don't have the answer to this yet, or shares bad news proactively. That builds incredible trust.
Yeah, that vulnerability builds connection. It creates that psychological safety we hear about.
It really does.
Okay, that's powerful. Moving on, the next quality is self-control. The source asks, can you manage your emotions, impulses, and reactions? This one sounds simple, but
It's definitely not always easy, especially under pressure, right? Deadlines, crises, difficult feedback.
totally.
The ability to stay calm, considered when things are hitting the fan that sends a huge signal of reliability. The source gives an example, like getting a really infuriating email right before a big meeting.
Your first instinct might be to fire back immediately.
Right. Your brain screams react.
Hmm.
But the leader with self-control pauses. Maybe they step away, reread it, try to see the other person's view, even just breathe for a minute.
And that pause changes everything.
It can completely shift the dynamic. It prevents escalating things, allows for a rational response. It shows you're in control of yourself, which makes others confident you can handle the situation.
So it's not about not feeling things, but managing the response.
You got it.
Got it. Okay, next is compassion. The question is, do you genuinely care for and empathize with others? This goes beyond just being nice, right?
Yeah, much deeper. Genuine empathy, as the source describes it, isn't just sympathy feeling for someone. It's actively trying to understand their perspective, their world, even if you don't agree with it.
Putting yourself in their shoes.
Truly.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, the material links this active empathy to increased team innovation.
Really? How so?
Because when people feel truly understood and safe, they're more willing to voice unconventional ideas, to take risks, without fearing judgment. It's that deep psychological validation feeling heard that builds loyalty and encourages creativity.
Wow, empathy is an innovation driver. I like that. Okay, what about patience? The source asks. Can you tolerate frustration, delay, or difficulty with calmness and composure? In our fast-paced world, this sounds like a superpower.
Doesn't it? And the source clarifies, this isn't passive waiting, it's active endurance.
Active endurance, okay.
It means holding on to the long-term vision while dealing with short-term setbacks without losing your cool or stressing everyone out. An impatient leader can create panic, push for bad shortcuts.
Yeah, I've seen that happen.
Whereas a patient leader models resilience. They give people space to think, to solve problems properly. It fosters an environment where quality matters and people feel okay working through tough stuff instead of just rushing. It's about respecting the process.
That definitely sounds more sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next, humility. The question, do you recognize your limitations, acknowledge your mistakes, and learn from them? This one can be tough for leaders, can't it? Some see it as weakness.
It's a common misconception, and the source tackles it head-on. It frames humility not as being timid or lacking confidence, but as intellectual openness.
Intellectual openness.
Yeah, like the willingness to say, maybe my idea isn't the best one here, or you know more about this than I do, or simply, I made a mistake. That's not weakness, it's strength.
Mm.
It unlocks the team's collective intelligence.
So it allows you to learn.
Absolutely. It encourages feedback, makes you more relatable, more trustworthy. It shows leadership isn't about being perfect, but about being committed to getting better and using everyone's brain power.
That's a great reframe. Humility is a learning tool. Okay, last one. Accountability. The source asks, do you take ownership of your actions, decisions, and outcomes? Seems crucial for trust.
Completely non-negotiable, according to the source, for building a strong culture. Taking ownership, especially when things go wrong, builds massive credibility.
Not just taking credit for the wins.
Exactly. When a leader owns failures and actively works on solutions, it sets the standard for everyone. It creates a culture where responsibility is shared and valued. It shows you stand by your choices and are committed to the team's success, not just protecting yourself.
Okay, so these 6 qualities, integrity, self-control, compassion, patience, humility, and accountability, these are the core components of this IQ of your heart.
That's what the source puts forward as essential. They're the measure of how effectively you connect with and lead people.
But I mean, these sound like pretty deep-seated personality traits. Can you actually develop them? Or are you just sort of born with a certain level?
That's a really important question. And the source suggests, yes, you absolutely can develop them. It's not like flipping a switch overnight, though.
More like building muscle.
Exactly like that. It requires consistent, intentional practice. You might pick one area, say, you want to work on compassion, so you consciously practice more active listening in meetings. Or for self-control, you practice pausing before replying to that stressful email.
Small steps.
Small daily actions. And then reflecting on them. What happened? How did I react? What could I do differently? It's about awareness and a genuine commitment to growth over time.
That makes it feel more achievable, less like trying to change your entire personality at once. Okay, so bringing it all together, the big message from the source is that this Heart IQ is just as vital as your brain IQ.
Right. It's not an either, it's the synergy between them. You need both the smarts and the heart to lead really well today.
The brain figures out what to do.
And the heart guides how you do it, how you interact, handle conflict, inspire people. That combination of sharp thinking and emotional intelligence, that's the sweet spot for great leadership.
So for everyone listening, what this really means for you is that by consciously working on these qualities, integrity, self-control, compassion, and the rest, you become a more effective leader, a more inspiring leader.
And likely a more successful one in the long run.
Yeah, and think about the impact, right? Not just hitting targets, but building stronger teams, better relationships, creating environments where people actually, thrive. It's a ripple effect.
That's the real power. It's about achieving goals, sure, but doing it in a way that builds people up, fosters trust, creates a positive environment. That leaves a lasting legacy far beyond just the numbers. It's the difference between just managing tasks and truly leading human beings.
What a great way to frame it. This has been a fantastic deep dive into leadership rule, #44. It's so clear that while, yes, brain power gets you in the door, it's that IQ of your heart that really defines your leadership journey and the kind of impact you make.
Absolutely. And maybe that leads to a final thought for everyone listening, a question to reflect on.
Okay?
If developing this hard IQ is so key for making that lasting impact, what's just one small, concrete step you could take this week? Just one thing to intentionally practice one of these 6 qualities. Maybe integrity, maybe patience, maybe humility, and just notice what happens. Observe the ripple effect, however small.
That's a powerful challenge, a great takeaway. How you answer that and how you choose to cultivate that hard IQ could genuinely reshape your leadership and your influence on the world around you.